No, just proud of our guys. We found a way to win. You know, it's a rivalry game. It's VC Old Dominion games. They're not always smooth and have great rhythm or poetic. That's for sure. But the one thing about this time last year, we felt very lousy after this game. We were up a lot in the second half. The wheels fell off, and that was a long bus ride home. And we talked about it all week, getting ready. That it's going to be a grind at times. It's going to be tough. It might not always be smooth, but let's find a way to win the game. And I thought our bench was awesome today, without a doubt. Played with great pace. It gave us energy. I thought the older guys got themselves going late in the game to increase the lead a little bit, and we'll get the lead back where it was, and then finish it the right way.
You mentioned it, but just how proud of you of that spurt where they had like an 8-0 spurt where it was the second unit led, and that was sort of the definitive lead where you guys pushed it up to double-digit lead, and you kind of held on it from there. So I'm proud of you. Like Bones played well in that spurt. Malik hit a couple threes. So
yeah, the second group with some of the young guys that they're 9 games in now, so they had a lot of practices, so they're getting more comfortable and familiar. I think they're playing with better pace, and I think that's. And attacking. So as I told the other guys, what's great is when you have guys behind you picking you up and then also pushing you, and we got to use that to our advantage even more. But I thought the bench was great. I thought some guys made some plays, and then I thought some of the older guys made plays down the stretch when we had to. We had a couple of big defensive rebounds. We had a couple defensive possessions where we knocked them off their plays. I thought they did a great job honoring the scouting report. They ran a couple of plays late to try to get threes, and guys sniffed them out. That was really good, and then we made some free throws down at the end. So, sometimes you got to win on the grind. And we all around here in the Siegel Center, we won 30-pointers and make it easy, and they want to knockout punch the first 2 minutes of the game. It doesn't always go that way, and it tells you a lot about your team if you can grind them out too. And it's not always pretty, but it's a win, and we've been on the other side of it, and we don't like that.
Keyshawn is having a career year Malik is having a career year in terms of accuracy. Is he so accurate because he is super selective, or does he just need to shoot more?
I think both.
Yeah.
I really do. I think he's taking open threes. It's amazing when you take open threes how they go in, right? I think he's not forcing it. I think last year. And he made some big threes for us last year as well. I think he was a little more off balance at times. I think he's done a great job with his body of getting himself stronger. I think he shoots better balanced shots this year. But he's shooting open ones, and that's why he got recruited a few years back, and because he can really shoot it. And he's done that. I thought today he did a good job reading some screens, and guys got him some good-looking shots. So shoot open ones and work on it. It makes you an efficient shooter.
That last one of his three run was a quick corner three.
Yeah.
Do you think he shoots that three if he doesn't make those previous two?
Probably
or
not.
Was that a confidence three?
I think that's a confidence three, and he's also on the side of their 5-man. So he did a really good job of spacing out. The 5-man got sucked in a little bit because the post was really ducking in, and he's found the spot. But it was a good shot. But yeah, we got some guys, if they make 2 or 3, they're looking for another one for sure. They're finding, heat seekers. They're trying to find another one, and I get it.
Just a note on, obviously this is always kind of a rock fight game, and you talk about, grinding it out and wins or wins. But with sort of how the NCAA tournament, obviously we're a ways from March, but how the selection committee is supposedly putting more into like KenPom and these kind of ranking systems. Is that in your mind a little bit? Like, obviously a win's a win, but we kind of need to blow these guys out because these rankings are going to drop because of it. Do you think about
No, you gotta win. You gotta win, and then that stuff takes care of itself.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. I mean, if I sat around all day long worried about all the analytics and KenPom stuff all the time, we wouldn't have a good scouting report. We wouldn't make our young guys better. Our bench wouldn't be prepared. Our job is have our guys find a way to get a 1-pointer because it's a dub, and I really believe that. And I think if you get so worried about some of the things, sometimes you can't control all of that because of the way the game goes. And if you're counting the scoreboard all the time, and it takes away from the stuff that we have to get better. If we get better, some of that stuff takes care of itself. But we got to find ways, and sometimes it's grind it out and get a one-pointer. Without a doubt.
The shooting got off to a slow start. What do you think was like something that impacted that early on?
Well, we didn't play enough inside out, without a doubt. I thought we were chucking some. We were wide open. I mean, there were some that we were wide open, and I get it. But a big thing to me is if you miss 2 in a row, you got to get a paint touch. We got to throw it to Marcus and play off of that. I thought we did a better job of that as the game went on, but. We made a couple, but man, we had some wide open ones. You got to cash in. But you know what? If you miss 2 in a row, let's get it inside outside. Let's throw it in the big dog and we'll go to work.
As a coach, when your bench comes in and they catch fire, sort of, and they get you a lead, how hard is it to say, hey, do I keep, how long do I keep these guys in? If I put the starters in, are they going to step on their throats? How do you feel that
there's that balance all the time. There's certain guys that aren't going to play past 4 or 5 minutes, but that group is rolling. So depending on timeouts, depending on stoppage in play, you can get some breathers without the clock moving. That helps keep them out there a little bit longer. You're without a doubt. My assistants wanted to keep him in longer, but we had older guys on the bench ready to come in, and they've been in those positions to close out games. So you're right. That's a good problem for us to have. And I told our guys after the game that we have a bench right now that's playing really well. It's pushing the older guys. The older guys got to step up even more, but they will because they've been in this position before. But that's a great problem to have. I've coached long enough. I'd sometimes look down there and didn't put anybody in, and that's a tough one too. So we just we could use those guys even more now. Some of them are getting more experience, and some of the things that have hurt us maybe lately of not moving the ball like we can, even defensively. I think some of that stuff's coming around with the bench guys. They can give us a big lift.
We've seen the scoring from Bones, but how good is his court vision too? He had that nifty little drop off past the Corey and then the pass along the baseline to Malik for those 2 shots. So
some guys just have an innate ability to find guys in different ways, and the game slows down when they have the ball in their hands. I think he's one of those guys, and as he continues to improve his defense and he continues to understand how we do things, which he is, he's very coachable. He's trying really hard. He's really trying to help the older guys, which is pretty cool for a freshman. He's only getting better and better, and we're gonna have to play him more and more. That's a good thing for us.
What are the battles like between the second unit, including him and your starters in practice? And like we see it, in times like today where they really step up big. What are those battles like when they're going?
They're great battles. Yeah. We can't do it all the time during the season because we got to prepare for the next opponent. But I think that's what's bringing out the best in everybody. I think that's why our young guys are getting better, and I think our older guys can't be complacent because of that. In the off season, they go after it, and first 20 days of preseason, it's a bloodbath. But that's VCU. That's gone on for a long time. Troy Daniels used to crush those guys the way he shot the ball, but it was hard for him to get on the court because there's some really good players. But that's one reason why he kept getting better and better, because he was fighting. And I use that example to our young guys all the time. Just keep fighting every day in practice to earn your place. And I think guys are doing that. And that helps the Army, without a doubt.
Also, on that note, Keyshawn's a guy who barely got off the bench last year. He's obviously playing big minutes, important minutes now. How helpful is it to have him, who's lived that experience, to tell guys maybe like a Jaren, or hey, you're behind a ton of seniors, your time will come. How helpful is it?
It's huge. It's huge. And the biggest thing is the handle part is all about attitude. Man, I might not play, but I got to keep getting better. That's really hard to do, 18 to 22. Oh, I'm not getting my time. But you're at VCU, your team is winning, there's older guys. All right, I got to do what Key's doing. And he's a great example of that. And we've had other guys, Brandon Roselle and Troy and other guys. You don't wait your turn at VCU, you keep fighting to get your turn. And I think Keyshawn did that last year. He sure did it this offseason, and he's given us a great lift. And not only is he in the rotation, but he's become a huge part of what we're doing.
Sure, but one at the break, come out, start 23-10 over the first 10 minutes. What did you kind of tell your guys at the break? Just kind of settle down?
Can't really tell you everything I said at the break. It just wasn't good enough. We didn't finish defensive plays. We didn't play with enough pace. I mean, I think our DER was .67, which is pretty darn good, but we still gave up some easy ones. It could have been below 5 if we finished plays and we weren't physical, and I thought we were just out there. We weren't playing with pace, and that's something we'll watch tape. We'll watch tape on Monday and show those guys that if they caught fire or we're playing a team that is better offensively, man, that could put you in a hole, and we don't want to do that. It's something we've got to learn from. But no, I just told him we got to wake up. We got to play better than this. We got to play with more pace.
Time for one more.
You talked about how you want guards to rebound better. Deontay ended up being your leading rebounder today. You didn't have the overall rebounding advantage, but I guess did you see some strides in that a little bit today with kind of sharing the rebounding a little bit better today? And again, Deontay.
Well, they were beating the heck out of Santos and just grabbing, and he creates so much attention even on the glass. And I thought our guards did a good job of getting in there and finding a couple. We got some good ones late, but I think DJ could be a high-level rebounder the way he can go straight up and those long arms, and he has a nose for the ball. And when you find a senior going after the ball more than he ever has in his career, that says a lot. That means his mind's clear and he's doing the right stuff.